views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network as she provides energetic shifts and consistent results in every area of life, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success. Many people who shift out of limiting beliefs roar with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. The truth is funny. Shift happens. Feel instant relief. Stay tuned for more fun and release struggle and suffering. And now, here's your host, Colette Stefan.
This is Colette Marie Stefan. Welcome to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay tuned for the next hour to experience the instant relief of using your intuition to solve life's most challenging problems. Shift happens every Wednesday at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific Time, live on the airwaves and in the archives at thetruth.com, transformationtalkradio.com, and transformationradio.fm. The energetic shifts are still accessible through WhatsApp and the Higher Self Network if you are listening later. My pleasure to share life-transforming information with my favorite energetic practitioners, and we love to hear from you. Call in 1-800-92819. And my guest today is one of my favorite energy practitioners that I've been working with, William Hatch. And he, in Canada, raised a cattle farm, actually, in Alberta, and was by trade electrical engineer, and went out looking for maybe a different way of doing things. We've been working together for two years now. Will, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it's a different week, hasn't it?
It's been a wonderful week.
Yeah. You can feel the energy. Like, we had so many astrological events in the last 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks ago, full moon and the lunar eclipse all on the same day. Yesterday or on Sunday, we had solar eclipse. And a lot of times when there's a lot of energy astrologically on the planet, there's a lot of energy in our lives in the planet, and a lot of things going on internally within each of us as individuals on the planet. And you and I wanted to talk about outer space, inner space, and holding space. So I'm going to hand that over to you, and tell us what you want to hear. And as I said, anyone who wants to call in, you can call in 1-800-930-2819, and Will and I are happy to take on any issues that people want to share today. In the meantime, Will, tell us about outer space, inner space, and the gap.
Oh, the gap. You better mind it. It's a beautiful place. I like to talk about the gap in terms of this spot between where you're at and where you could be, and being in between. And it's this neat place where anything can happen, and it's got a lot of potential, which is why I like to give it extra special care, because it's got a lot of potential. And so I wasn't thinking as much about the gap when this came to mind. I was thinking also in terms of just how we hold space and what space is even, because that came up when I was looking at how to hold space, is that if nobody's got a clear definition of what they're aiming for, then it's hard to move in the right direction. And when we talk about holding space in terms of, say, like a ceremony type setting,
Mm-hmm.
it can be really wild, being able to hold this space of calm and healing while people are going through whatever comes up in the course of the event. And for me, I think my key to it all comes from this core thing that I have with in the universe, that everything has happened for a reason that's brought us to where we are today. and that there seems to be something that guides all that, and that everything just seems to be perfectly okay. It doesn't matter what the circumstance is. When it's over and there's clarity to it, then it can be really understood in context, and all of a sudden an experience, it's a learning experience.
Yeah,
so,
you know, when you say that, it sounds so pretty and nice, but sometimes the reality is like, yeah, like sometimes people think about those learning lessons that we life. Some of those can be pretty challenging. So, you know, when I really wanted to interject here that holding space, like for me, what that means is for a lot of people when, like, say they're at a seminar, one of my events or whatever, and, you know, people will be kind of shocked about, wow, like I thought I already dealt with this issue, or, you know, I had no idea that that the pain in my body was actually coming from an emotional trauma that happened, you know, like 20 years ago or something. Mm-hmm. And so for a lot of people, you know, they're looking at improving themselves and being really honest with themselves and being really clear with themselves. And so sometimes holding space to me means just allowing someone, you know, just to be there for them and just allow them to express themselves. And, you know, I've been at, you know, several ceremonies with you, and I've seen you hold space, and that's why I felt like that you were qualified to speak of it. And, you know, when we were in Peru, I mean, that first night, you know, it was New Year's Eve, and, you know, you could tell this story. I mean, we were, you know, like, I mean, this ceremony was really challenging, and, you know, you were the only one that went up for seconds and got to drink out of the shaman's goblet. So do you want to explain what that's like for you, like how you're able to dig deep and hold space like that under those challenging circumstances?
It wasn't challenging for me.
Yeah, you were dancing and having fun, and everybody else around you is like falling off their chairs and, you know, rolling around on the ground and throwing up and, you know, like not really feeling that good. And so it was really quite funny to watch you, and at the same time recognizing that you had pretty much ingested double the amount of everybody else that out of the other 30 people that were there, and you were the only one that seemed to be really having a lot of fun. So I've always held that memory and thought, wow, you know, that's you know, it takes a special kind of person to be able to enjoy that moment. Let me put it to you that way. You're listening to The Truth is Funny on Transformation Talk Radio with Colette Marie Stefan, and my guest today is Will Hatch. And when we come back after this short break, we'll continue sharing some stories from Peru and also talking about space. And we also have a call that wants to get through 1-800-930-2819. We'll make some more shift happen right when we come right back.
What if your body and mind were the compasses to the secrets, mysteries, and magic of life? Glenna Rice, co-host of The Questionable Parent, is inviting you to access all that is possible. Glenna is a 10-year certified veteran access consciousness facilitator who offers an amazing variety of life-changing classes and workshops. Work with Glenna from anywhere with teleclasses and workshops all over the globe. To learn more and see Glenna's current schedule of events, classes, and workshops, visit glennarice.com.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthisfunny.com.
Tune in to Dynamics of Diversity Radio, scripting the new narrative for immigration with leading experts Kripa Upadhyaya and Steve Tanijo on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This show will remove the noise that often accompanies discussions on this topic and share a new perspective on the dynamics of immigration and diversity, ever reminding us that together we are all at the core of innovation, excellence, and positive change. Visit OrbitLawPLLC.com for upcoming topics. Tune in to Mainstream Metaphysics Radio to harness your connection with the universe to effect change for optimal success and happiness. Named one of the country's top psychics, Eve now brings her insights and gifts to this weekly hit call-in show, joined by visionaries, leaders, and gifted others, but mostly you. Jot it down, Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
1230 WBLQ.
We are back on The Truth is Funny with Colette Marie Stefan, and my guest today, Will Hatch. Will, just give everybody your contact information.
I can be reached at will@iagree.com. EYEAGREE.com.
And we were just before the break, we were talking about, I just wanted to finish the story about in Peru, how it was New Year's Eve, and you tell the story because, you were the one that was dancing.
Yeah, so the key to that one, it's not some superhuman ability that I have. It comes down to your card, this and that. Remember the Madre is saying, here, do you want this or do you want that? And you're going, well, I don't know. Maybe I want the horrible thing. And she says, okay. And then you get another half hour of the horrible thing.
Yeah.
Well, the key to how I had my New Year's experience is that I always chose that. Never this, always that.
Smart man. What he's talking about is my perception card. And, we forgot, Sharon started a trend that she felt I should, when she was on my show last, that let's pull a drain card at the beginning of because she just ordered they came, and she said that she was finding that they were so accurate. So I'm just going to do that now. And I got dissension, swimming with sharks. We're just, for everybody out there, just tell them a little bit, and then we're going to take this.
About
just tell them, yeah,
okay.
What that was like for you.
Oh, it was hilarious. Here's all these people around me, and they're groaning and moaning in agony, and they're just having this generally rough night. And all I can hear is salsa music coming from camp down the road where they were having a New Year's party. And in my visions, I was out first walking in the forest, and then I was at the party with everybody else. And so that was such a good time. It was pretty great.
We do have a caller, Brian. We have someone calling in, so we're just going to take her call, and then we'll talk about about holding space.
I hope I can get
Brian, do we have Jai?
Yes, I hope it's Jai from Calgary, Alberta. I hope I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jai.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. What can we do for you today? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What's the weather like in what's the weather like in Calgary? Is it winter or spring?
It's not too bad. It's kind of in between state right now. just
we had
how I feel.
Spring here. We had spring here in Kelowna for about 4 days, and then it snowed a whole bunch again, so it's white outside again.
Yeah,
that's Canada, right?
That's happening here too.
So,
definitely.
What can Will and I do for you today?
I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit stagnant in life right now, and you're talking about holding the space and inner space and outer space, and it just kind of reminded me of where I am right now and how I want to be moving forward, but I feel like I can't.
So okay. So when you think about that and you think about moving forward and I'm getting moving forward, what does that mean to you? Just so we have an idea what you mean. Are you
really,
stuck? Is there a specific goal?
Yeah, I want to be getting a job to start saving up for myself and things like that. And I feel like I can't really get a good paying job until I finish school, and with school I'm not finished my degree, and I'm not really the degree's not really helping any because I need to take a diploma in order to really be doing what I want to do. So it's kind of nothing's really moving forward.
Okay. So so we're going to just get you to take a big deep breath here. And now on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the absolute worst, 0 being neutral, where are you at?
I feel like a 5.
Okay, yeah, that feels like sort of halfway. So, Will, what would you like to say here?
I was just giggling because at the 5, this is kind of like being stuck in between.
Yeah.
So often people come, they have an extremely, extremely extreme issue, and it's right at the top.
I love it. She's right at the 5, right in the middle in the gap.
Well, I have a consoling thought.
Uh-huh.
And that's that this very clear desire to move forward, that it's getting clearer every day that's step 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I wanted, Jai, what I wanted to ask you is, how long have you been going to school, and how much longer do you have left to go?
Well, the degree usually takes 4 years, but I'm already in my 4th year, but I have to take an extra year because I didn't take the full courses each year. So I'm taking longer in my degree. And then I'm going to be taking an ECE diploma, which is what I really want to be doing, which takes another year. So about 2 years.
Okay. So it was basically what was coming up was how much time you've already put in and how much more time you have to put in. You're doing time, you're in, it's like a sentence,
with a whole bunch of commas instead of a period.
Yeah,
I meant a sentence, like a jail sentence, but that pretty much said it too. It's making Jai laugh anyway. Yeah. So
actually, that makes
how
sense.
Old are you, Jai?
21, turning 22 in a month. Turning 22 in 1 month. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my Lord, you're so old. There's no way that you're going to get all this done before the end of your life. So we're just going to strengthen you to this, okay? It's kind of what's coming up is a spiritual, your age, being 21, going on to 22. It's kind of like women in particular have a tendency to do things when they're 21, like get married, have babies, finish careers, break up with boyfriends, all sorts of things like that. And if I have, say I have a seminar and I had 50 women in the room, I can ask, okay, who got married or had a baby or, whatever at the age of 21? And half the room will put up their hand. And then at the age of 28, who got divorced or got married or had a baby or made a big career change, etc. And so it's really common for things to come into cycles of 7. when it comes to job and career and purpose and all of these things. So we're just going to strengthen you to that. And it's kind of like, it's interesting that card that I brought up, this is one of the tactics like that we use against each other in the government, and everybody like talks about is, when you have to go to, like, there's certain things that you have to get a degree. You have to get like, you have to get your accreditation, like, is what's coming up for you. And so we strengthen you to that you are already there. Will, like, up this gap energy, you shift, Jai. What number are you at?
I think I'm pretty neutral. I feel like at a 1-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Will, do you want to tell her what you were shifting for her?
It was overeducated, underqualified is what came up in my head as we got started on this. And I went through that one myself. Because we go through all the expense of university, and I also took a bit of extra time because I thought, let's enjoy life while we're going to university. It's not a sentence. Let's make the best out of it. And when I walked out, I honestly was making as much money in a whole year as I used to make in one summer in road construction during university. And so there's this challenging aspect of knowing that what you want is on the other side of this, and having the wherewithal to just keep going because you made up your mind that that's where you're going to go and that's what you're going to do. It's a sacrifice in the front and it's a payoff at the end down the road. And it takes some determination to get over that bump, and that's it. And you're there.
Yeah, and this is what is like what's coming up for you, Jaya, is that it's kind of like coming up that you feel like you're like so anxious to get your life started, and you don't feel like your life's really going to be started until you're done school. But, your life is already started, just so you know. Like, have you noticed that you're breathing, that, you're having interactions with people. So I would suggest for you and for everybody that's kind of feeling this right now is like to just get, in touch with that. And you're neutral to it now, and you can totally feel the difference now. So, but really every single thing that you do throughout your day, every encounter you have with other people, every, go to, there's always opportunities that are there for you. And people always, you meet many people in your life. When you look at the big picture, we don't meet very, when you consider how many people are on the planet. And so just strengthen you to that, like attracting people like a magnet to you that are going to benefit you in your authentic goals. And so I understand this a lot of times when people go to using their education anyway, they end up getting a totally different job or whatever. And so we just strengthen you to all experiences and everybody out there to experience being like an educational experience. And that you're in the process of moving forward in your life every day just because you're breathing. And so we strengthen that for you. Fun doing it and not take it too seriously. Like when you're 21, there's lots of room for improvement. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you feel that for yourself right now? Yeah. Don't be hard on yourself. Just because people say that when you're 21, you're supposed to be grown up doesn't mean that everybody is right then. So we're just going to strengthen that for you. And, we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. But I want to thank you so much for calling in. And, you can reach me at info@thetruthisfunny.com if you want to make a comment and let us know how you're doing. Or if you want to reach Will, what is your email address again, Will?
Will@iagree.com.
There we go. All right. We'll be right back after this short break.
your body is awakened, your spirit comes alive. Dana Canetto is a transformational guide, embodiment coach, and spiritual mentor assisting women in realigning with their truth and embodying who they are by connecting to the wisdom of their body. Tune in every month on Transformation Talk Radio and the Dr. Pat Show Network for Body Divinity Radio with Dana Canetto. For more information on Dana and her services, visit danacanetto.com. That's DANACANNETO.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners. Award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com. That's THEDRPatShow.com for listening times in your area.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthисfunny.com.
I am Colette Marie, and you are listening to The Truth. You can connect with me, funny.com, Tales from the Vector, TS from the Vector.com for energy correct paintings. We're doing a new update on the website, Tales from the Vector, because we have 19 new energy correcting cards to introduce right before the upcoming seminar that I just want to plug here quickly. I'm going to be having a live event in over a year, held right here, March 18th and 19th. Really forward to that. You can look it up on my website, www.thetruthисfunny.com. And it's a program that I've been working on for a decade now, and really, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to sharing the information that I've been sharing in another unique way. And, just before the break, we had Jai on, and Will, you and I were, she was talking about what a lot of people, perfect for this show as usual, a lot of people are going through, like, she's caught in the middle, like she's halfway through her schooling, but so what words of advice do you have for people when they're feeling this way?
Well, do you remember how our very first radio show together, we were talking about how the energy flows where the thoughts go.
Yes.
So this is a beautiful example because it's university and it's a very extended project, but we were coming at it from the topic of ceremony also, which is a short thing, but it has a similar implications. So if I make up my mind at the very beginning that I'm going to go and do something, and I'm doing it for these strong reasons because I was guided with intuition and logic to come here, and then I felt with all of my capacity that this was the thing to do, and so I go and I do it. Now, now that we're partway into the job, time has passed, it's easy to forget why we started. And so in that space there, if we're really holding the space for ourselves, we can tell ourselves the story that we don't know why we're here, and this is not what we wanted, and that everything is going sideways. We can put our energy into backpedaling or going in a different direction or something, and it's going to take time to get the momentum in that direction. But if we really tune into why we're here in the first place, and if we can really be in perfect alignment with that, knowing that we are here for a good reason to move forward, and where we are now is a part of where we're going, and this is all important in coming together, then my energy stays on the path, and there's no diverting, there's no desire to backpedal or sidestep. And when the energy stays on the path, the momentum continues to build in the same direction.
I love that, because, we were just talking about this yesterday. We were so blessed yesterday. Will was here with me at the house, and we had a real special visitor yesterday, Angela Ortega, that is, she's from the area here, an amazing, amazing woman, which you met her now, like you can attest to. She ran the Spring Festival of Awareness 30 years, and has met to organize events of that number of people coming, and introduced to people who are modalities all over, for 30 years, like having 50, 60, 70 people at an event talking, and at the same time having like hundreds of people going to all these different events, organizing all of that. And, it was such a beautiful visit with her yesterday. And, she was here for over a couple hours and dropped off a lot of the issues magazines. So I just said, I wanted to put in on the radio show, those of you who are out there with the Spring Festival of Awareness was, she's not running it anymore. And so this will be the first year she's running it out at Johnson's Retreat out in the, which is in British Columbia here, at a bit smaller level but she's been publishing the Issues magazine now for also like 30 years or something. And I have, she dropped a bunch here. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that yes, there is an Issues magazine, and we will be, Angela is out on the road right now distributing them out there in British Columbia and Alberta as we speak. So I just wanted to, give her a wave and say thank you for stopping by, and thank you for all the beautiful, wonderful work, that you have done, Angela. Listen to the radio show, all the support that she's given to so many people that are passionate about bring their story. So I just really wanted to mention that, how a lot of people in the area here know Angela and know what a special person is. And so I just wanted to say hi on the radio. And Issues magazine is out, and it is available now. And this issue is a 1-year issue instead of like she was doing prior. So, you got to meet your impression, Will, when you met Annabelle.
What a wealth of information. 2 hours was not even enough to scratch the surface.
No, like this woman, I'm telling you, she's met many people who teach so many modalities, and, she holds a lot of space, and, you could feel that when she was here. And so it's interesting, isn't it? Like, what was your impression of that? I'm just interested, like, when you meet someone like that, that's been doing it for years and years, and then Jai calling in, and she's fun, and she's like,
I know it sounds really weird, but from my perspective, she's very much like a number of other people I've met. And what I mean is that there's these souls out there who are doing this very specific kind of work with a very specific kind of intention. And they're out there for the best of everybody. And when I meet them, when I sit next to them, the way that I feel is that they're all exactly the same person, or a shallow copy at the best. And what an energy. I've only met a handful of people in the world like that, but from what I've learned about how somebody can hold space for others, it doesn't take very many people like that to hold space for the world.
And when, just defining it, because people talk about holding space a lot. For me, holding space means that you allow someone to express themselves and without judgment. And so quite often, when I have energy seminars and people are learning how to do, these skills, because there's certain protocols that you can use that will sharpen your intuition, that will, this is what the seminars are about. And then like my seminars coming up, this one in March, everybody's going to let me know what it is they want to work on the weekend, the goal that they want to. And we're going to strengthen that throughout, because it's very innovative and very people start working together right away from the in the first 15, 20 minutes of the seminar. And people are so surprised sometimes at how good they are at holding space for other people when they haven't even done it before. And that is like really not judging people, not judging the situation, the neutrality. And, you and I were talking about that this morning. Do you want to just say a little bit about that? Neutrality and, why neutrality is beneficial for when you're holding space.
You put me on the spot here and I'm coming up with a blank. Neutrality is important for holding space, because if you're not neutral to what you're looking at, then you're going to be reacting to it instead of responding to it. How's that for a perfect comeback with some language out of your book?
There you go. The point is to recognize this, that when people are going through some discomfort, in their body, or they're letting go of something that they've been holding on to, and they're releasing, that if someone that just can be there, I would see this a lot with face readings, just looking someone in the eye and caring to, and while can have benefits for people. We'll talk a little bit more back, and this is the show today. I've been really looking forward to sharing this energy, because this week has been so for so many people that I've connected with. And so I just want to strengthen that for everybody before we go to this next break, and then talk about a little bit more about what's going on in the world and how we can hold space for each other when we come back. We'll be right back after this short break.
When your body is awakened, your spirit comes alive. Dana Canetto is a transformational guide, embodiment coach, and spiritual mentor, assisting women in realigning with their truth and embodying who they are by connecting to the wisdom of their body. Tune in every month on Transformation Talk Radio and the Dr. Pat Show Network for Body Divinity Radio with Dana Canetto. For more information on Dana and her services, visit DanaCanetto.com. That's DanaCanneto.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
Called the Oprah of Radio by her listeners, award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com. That's THEDRPatshow.com for listening times in your area.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthисfunny.com.
The Earth is an ever-changing being. Goddess Light Shamanic Healer Bree Gibbs guides us through the ascending worlds, bringing forth knowledge and truth. As a light creator, she is here to provide new information needed at this time in our evolution. Join Bree as she shares messages from guides, spirits, ascended masters, goddesses, and others. Tune in the second and fourth Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific, and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Pacific for Silver Gaia Radio.
1230 WBLQ.
Hi, this is Colette Marie Stefan. You're listening to The Truth is Funny. I have Will Hatch on today, and we were talking to Jai earlier, who is 21 and is feeling stuck because she's halfway through. When I do my private sessions, quite often I get a feeling for what's going on, in any given week. And this has been like for a lot of people coming up in their lives, like, Will, we were talking about this, how does someone like Jai stay pumped up, motivated, not motivated so much, but following her path? What
appreciation helps for me. I sit there and I think about the things that I value, and just by giving them value, they seem to grow. There's going on in the world that could distract us, that we could focus on. There's so much going on in the universe, that even just in our own minds, that we could focus on. And it could be any range from what we want to what we don't want to what we know or to what we don't know. Anything is possible in here. And when I look at it, it starts to get weird because I don't see the universe as solid. It's this really thin, weird veil that sort of hangs over everything. So my perspective is really different than a lot of people around me, as you already know.
Well, this is because, what you're speaking about is, what I sought to get more information about. I was on this path of I want to know about remote healing and how is it possible. And then I wanted to know, okay, well, yeah, we're all connected, but I want, know that I knew that, quantum physicists talk about that, but I didn't really understand it. And so when I went with Nassim Haramein and with the Resonance Project Foundation and became an emissary, so much was made clear to me because what's holding us together is space. And a lot of people feel like what's holding us together is their job or their family, and those things are all very important. But what's really, really holding us together is the fact atoms. And so the outer space, and the inner space and the in every day we're dealing with that on many levels. There's world right now that the average person does not have any control over, except for your attitude. Mm-hmm. And I feel this is really for people that are looking for some calm right now. Is yes, it's true. We're really going through some challenging times, and judging from the week that I've had with private sessions with clients, A lot of people are feeling kind of on edge and kind of like not sure and all of these things. But having said that, at the same time, there's so much beautiful out there to focus on. And so just strengthening that for everybody, staying in this calm, being able to hold space for yourself first and foremost is important. And we don't really have control necessarily over what's going on around us, but we most certainly do have control about our attitude around that. And so do you want to just maybe talk a little bit about that? Because that's a different kind of holding space again.
That's the holding space for ourselves. And it comes back to the same principles as far as I can tell. It comes back to having a firm understanding of why we're here and always acting out of it. And without that firm understanding, then we could just be acting out of whatever we're observing. And so that comes down to attitude also. If your belief is that what is, and that's simply it, and that what you see is the extent of how this goes and your ability to control the outcome, if you believe that ability doesn't exist beyond what you can physically do with your physical body, then you're going to find yourself in a place where you're kind of stuck, feeling that if you can't get out there and take control of the situation, that you're powerless. And there comes in this attitude right there. And with this uncertainty often comes fear. And if we have an understanding of where we come from that says that there's a reason why I'm here and there's something that I'm doing, and that all the stuff that I don't quite understand, it's okay. I will understand it, and there's a reason for it. It's a very good reason that's guiding me somewhere that I'm going, that I obviously asked to go to, that I just don't quite remember asking for. Now, under that attitude, everything is very different. And from a physical standpoint, to tie it back to the Innerspace, when somebody spends a day in fear, the chemical buildup of all the stress hormones in the body is such that the body is disabled. The mind is being disabled. And so it comes down to this simple choice that we make or don't make to decide that there's going to be a reason to this and that we make the reason. And then under that choice comes all these other things that takes away all this need for fear and uncertainty, because we've already made up our minds about that.
Yeah, and this is like something that, a lot of people think that they're going to university to be educated and doing what they love to do. And then they get to university and they find out that, it maybe doesn't have as much, their education doesn't maybe have as much to do with what they love to do as they thought. And, when you think about the fact that, you're 16, 17, 18, and you're making these choices about what you want to do for the rest of your life, let's just, let's take it one day at a time and just strengthen that for all the students out there, recognizing that life is an education in itself. And so what I've told a lot of people that are going to university that feel kind of stuck like that, and, is really a lot of people don't ever use that degree that they go for. They end up doing something else anyway. And so just the experience of attending school, doing a good job on the reports like that, if you're interested in them, and just doing your best that you can do in any given moment, that in itself builds character. And a lot of times people, when they're going to school, they think they're going there because they want to fulfill a purpose in their life. But really the purpose of going to school a lot of the time is showing that you can show up. And so, this is something I talk about. You brought up my book earlier, and in my book, quite often I had to jump back and forth between using present term and past term, and making sure that I didn't imprint anyone with any negative energy or anchor any negative energy on people, because what happens is when something bad happens in our life, a lot of people will go straight to the internet and they'll look it up. And all of the information, and this is something to be aware of, a lot of the information on the internet will say you. And so you want to really strengthen yourself that you have strong boundaries here, so that everything that you do for yourself, when you're holding space for yourself, you're aware when your boundaries are being crossed, and you strengthen yourself by just putting some energy into your core. We have about a minute left, Will. What would you like to finish saying to everybody here?
Isn't it a beautiful day? I just
yes,
love
it is.
when days like this come. I mean, I can't see the sun, but I know it rose. And I love knowing that the sun's out there. It really gives me a great pleasure to know that there's this thing that's been providing warmth and energy to this beautiful little planet for so long and feeding our life cycle, and that gives us everything that we see around us and know as life. It's pretty incredible to think that we're just a spontaneous chemical reaction that's been going on ever since the day that we were born. Beautiful. I love it.
I love that. So the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And if that happens tonight, we'll all be happy. Thank you for being on the show. And thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jai, for calling in. Thank you to all the listeners. Really looking forward to connecting with you some more next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Bye for now.
You've been listening to The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan. Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Stefan each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network as she provides energetic shifts and consistent results in every area of life, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. The Truth is Funny. Visit thetruthisfunny.com for more information. That's thetruthisfunny.com.